In this chapter, we'll take a look at the case where ProviderNotFoundException occurred and use a slight different method from Chapter 13, Provider Overview 09, when we are talking about the app, to avoid the ProviderNotFoundException. Let's look at the Provider Overview 11 app I made in advance. The count class here is the counter class you have probably often seen. Let's look at the main.dot file. Like we did in Chapter 13, you want to access the counter directly from within the change and notify provider. We already know that the ProviderNotFoundException error will occur if we run it. And we know that the third error among the three displayed errors, you use the build context, that is an insist of the provider you are trying to read, is the cause of the error. Provider.oft context or context.readT extension method starts from the context and goes up the widget tree to find the type T object instance. But this error occurs because the type T object was not found. If context keeps appearing, it can become a bit confusing, so I will replace context of the create function with underscore. This means that we won't care about the context. And shall we run it again? It's still the same. That is, the context of the extension method is the context passed to the build function. And from that context, it goes up the widget tree. So, of course, there is no change in notify provider. So, this is why ProviderNotFoundException happened. We solved the problem in Chapter 13 by using the change in notify provider's build callback. Let's try a different solution here. The first is to create child widget and separate them into separate widgets. Select extract widget from the menu and name it child widget. The original column widget has been separated to a child widget. Now let's run it after a hard restart. It operates normally now. The second is to use the builder widget provided by Flutter instead of a builder callback of change in notify provider. I'm going to undo what I refactored into child widget using Command Z. We will cut the current column widget and give a builder widget as a child. Paste the column widget you just cut into the builder callback of the builder widget and return. Let's run it after a hard restart. It works normally. An important feature of the builder widget is that the context passed to the builder callback of the builder widget is the context of the builder itself. But a builder is a child of change and notify provider, so of course, if you go up according to the given context, in this case, the context of the builder, you can find the counter type change and notify provider. In the next section, we'll learn about the value named constructor through the topic provider access.